Welcome back. If it's your first time on the channel, my name is Ryan. I'm a full-time reseller on sites like eBay and Poshmark. And today I'm gonna be talking about something not related to reselling. So if you want to stay tuned, I appreciate it. It's kind of a little bit about me. So if you want to kind of hear a little bit about me today, then great. So this weekend was pretty busy. The place that me and my wife met at back in 2012 shut its doors. This place has been open for years. I think it had a different name. We met at a bar. I was coming down from college and I met with my friend at this bar in the town we went to high school in. We hung out and everything, and I seen this girl come in, and I didn't really think much at first, but I went and introduced myself, and she's like, yeah, I know who you are. I'm like trying to think of like, well, maybe it was from high school, maybe it was from this, trying to think of every possibility of how I know this girl. And it turns out that I had her cousin that I was there hanging out with. That's how they're related. That's why she even came up there, is her cousin invited her up there. And I didn't know he was inviting her. And also her sister I had a class with, I think it was in Spanish or French, something like that. I can't even remember, it's been so long, because that was back in 2009 or 2008, 2009, which I'm still like, man, that's just a couple of years ago. And then when you really think about it, that's quite a bit of time now. So like for me, I'm 35, about to be 36. But this bar that we met at when we were both 22, you know, it was like themed, dressed up as a biker bar. But it was an industrial park bar. Like realistically, it was a bunch of like in a machine shop area, and there was just this like random bar. But everyone kind of around my age groups, you know, that graduated from like 2005 to probably like 2013, I would say, or maybe 2000, yeah, about 13. That was kind of like their bar. Especially there were a few other bars in my town, but not many. Like we had the Hard Rock Casino, but a lot of people don't care to go to the Hard Rock Casino. There are some, but prices are a lot more, you know. This is just a dive bar. Like whatever music you play on the jukebox, they're gonna play it. They're not gonna skip it, you know. There was just like 2 pool tables, a few different bartenders I've seen throughout the years. But this bar meant a lot to me and my wife, because it's not only where we first met. Well, I lived an hour away from this town at the point where I went to college at Oklahoma State University in Stillwater, Oklahoma. And I would come down just to visit her, and we would meet at this bar. And I remember I would come down and we would sit there and watch Sons of Anarchy, and we really bonded and connected over the TV show Sons of Anarchy. And I don't know why, but I was obsessed with that show at the time, and she really enjoyed it, and we'd meet up and watch the new episodes there. And the bartender would, you know, put it on the big 50-inch TV, and we would sit there with a bucket of drinks and hang out, talk, and watch this TV show. And it's not a busy bar, it's a dive bar. So, you know, a couple people would come in here and there during this, like the week when we'd watch our show. But the bartenders, since there was like no music playing, she would turn up the volume so we could actually hear the TV show, which was really cool. And she would watch it with us. Her name was Lisa, and she was the biggest sweetheart. She was like another mom, pretty much. And bartenders are pretty great. Like they're like therapists. I even worked at this bar for like a few months, just for extra income back in the day. And I didn't really care much for it. So it was just to kind of help out too, because they were in a transitional period. but I didn't stay long working there because working 2 jobs was actually pretty hard. But yeah, Lisa, I will say, she passed away, and a couple of years ago, and me and my wife kind of stopped going to the bar when she passed away, because she honestly was everything. Her, I think, husband at the time, Al was a great guy. They had another location, Knuckleheads 2, in kind of a, not really midtown, but another part of town. It was far away. And so we've seen him here and there, but Lisa mainly ran this bar. And we would go there pretty much in our 20s. We'd go there almost every weekend. It was a lot of fun. And you know, obviously once we had kids, it was harder to get babysitters and stuff like that. So, you know, we stopped kind of going because of that reason too. And I want to say I'm not condoning any kind of drinking or anything like that, because there's some nights we wouldn't even go to drink, because on Tuesdays they would have, like, they also serve food, so we'd get like their tacos, or, you know, they did, I think, ribs on Friday or something like that, you know, different like meal things. So sometimes we didn't even go to drink. We would just go for the food and the conversations and getting out of the house and talking with everybody. We've met so many people there. And, you know, it being a dive bar, you know, it's not all parties and things like that. It's a lot of times just a place to hang out, you know, and, you know, talk, where it's not just at your house. There's a lot of good memories. I've met so many people there. We've done different parties there. Not only did I meet my wife there, we actually did our wedding after party there, which was pretty cool. My son, that's 9 now, when he was born, we even took him to the bar to show him to Lisa, which is pretty funny, so I can be like, he wasn't even 1. He was only a couple months old, and we took him to well, I will say we did not drink at all or anything. We literally just came in to talk to her, and so she could see him, and that was it. But so my son's been to the bar already, which is kind of funny. You know, we had our wedding after party there. Another friend group, they got married the same exact day. They had their wedding after party there too. So we had this just giant wedding after party, which is pretty cool, I thought. And Lisa, she bought us like a bottle of wine for our wedding and everything. But like I said, we haven't been there in a couple years. Someone that would go there also pretty regularly, she tagged me and a lot of our regular people that used to go there, and said, hey, Knuckleheads is closing down. You know, we want to try to meet on a Thursday. And I'm like, a Thursday? Gosh. So this past Thursday, I went and, you know, hung out with all of them, and just seeing everybody, it kind of made me think that, man, we're kind of getting older. And I'm still pretty young, but I'm like, I started going to this bar roughly when I was 22, when I was about to move back to Tulsa. And it's just kind of weird seeing everybody, you know, 10 plus years later, kind of how everyone's doing. It was almost like a reunion, like a high school reunion, really. And it was just it was really cool seeing everybody. I really enjoyed it, and I know I don't talk to a lot of them anymore, but that's just, I guess, part of life. You know, we're on Facebook and stuff, and, you know, comment things here and there when something happens in life. But other than that, we don't really see each other. We don't really talk too much. The next following night, the last night, Friday, I went with another set of friends, and we all hung out, and we actually closed down the bar, and that was just one last hoorah and everything. And it was great seeing everybody there. I really enjoyed it. Gonna miss that place, but I know I don't really go that much anymore. Usually if I'm doing any kind of things like that, it's kind of at home, have a bonfire, or go to one of my best friend's house and we just hang out and play retro video games and have a drink kind of thing. With Lisa, this is going to be kind of somewhat, I guess, reselling related right here. Is Lisa, I actually sold some stuff for her, you know, when she was alive. So this is probably like 7-8 years ago. She had a bunch of like Harley Davidson, because her and Al are like biker people. But like he would go to Sturgis and do his barbecue all the time. That's what it was. Yeah, barbecue. He would bring up his barbecue up to Sturgis, and that was pretty much like his best week, he would say. So but the reason why it's closing down is because of he's retiring. He does have a new wife. I think they're married, or a lady. And so he's retiring. So good for Al. Yeah, I'm so happy for him. Al is finally retiring, which good for him. And I wish him nothing but the best. I think he said he was gonna actually start a food truck. I'm like, why are you retiring and then doing something new? But you know, hey, that's Al. He's a worker. He is a worker for sure. Gosh, I am gonna miss that place. It's a lot of memories there. But I hate to say it, I hadn't been there in a long time before I heard the announcement. But it is like a little piece of me and my wife's history is like just kind of gone, I guess, now. We're at the place that we met. We're at the place where we had our wedding after party. The place that we really got to connect with each other of going to this place. And you know, now that place isn't there, but also our lives have changed. So we still have those memories. So I'm pretty happy I got to share them there with her and all my friends. And just because of this little hole in the wall bar in the middle of kind of nowhere, in the middle of an industrial park. And that's kind of the story how I met my wife. It's and you know, we met, you know, I think there were like dating apps and stuff, but we met the old-fashioned way, I like to say, is we met in a bar. And that's how I met her. And now we've been married for over 10 years. So I can't believe it's been that long, but it has. So if you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate you. This is just me kind of reflecting back on things, like something sentimental like that. It was a really cool place, and hate to see it go, but yeah, I just hate to see it go. Great times, fun memories. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please comment below, like, is there a place that closed down? It doesn't have to be something connected with you and your spouse or anything, but just maybe a place that you remember that closed down that kind of holds a little place to you, but maybe no one else. I would love to hear your story. If you want to catch more content like this is not usually the content I do, but if you want to catch more content like this, please subscribe. We will see you next time. Bye.